Hello, my fellow Clown Army minions. Welcome to CLOWNFEST 7 Syntax Era Cribs. I was telling Mark, I am actually weeks away from moving studios, moving houses. Not too far. Keep doing this. Stop slapping your leg. A lot of my stuff is actually not terribly connected. So I'm not gonna walk you through my song creating process or how I do live sets. Pretty much just gonna walk you around and show you a bunch of stupid stuff. Why did I agree to do this? Mark, expect a lot of jump cuts. And here we are. Like any good studio tour, we begin by going underground. To the left we have a studio, to the right we have a shop. Let's start in the shop. Here's my workbench. Tools. Got your tools. Gotta have a lot of tools. And those are my components. Resistors, capacitors, diodes, switches, various other stuff. And here we have the 3D printer. It's a CR10S. Allows me to build great things like this. You can make movie props. That sucks. There's a pot all over it. Various odd things can be found. My laminate passes from parties that I've played over the years. Got my circuitry station over here. Solder station over here with the hot air rework, desoldering station over here. Testing equipment, pretty old stuff. Analog oscilloscope. It's an old function generator. This is my first power supply when I first got into circuitry, really young, probably like 5 or 6. Got a transistor tester over here. My little mini Marshall amp when I test circuits. So I don't have to go into the other room. I can just plug it right in. Boop. Yep. Nice. Clean circuit. This is where I will build circuits. Here's a cool 3D printing project. These are 3D printed drum pads. Octave keyboard. Paint them up. You got your piezo triggers right there to the 1/4 inch. Nice passive circuit. And then I'll be able to play melodies on this with drumsticks. See the layer lines? They were printed this way. Bar will go through here. Screw in the back. Dusty. Very dusty. Stop slapping your leg. What else we got? Some of my simple circuit bending. I just pulled all of Elmo's skin off of him. Hacked in there. Put a nice Moog style potentiometer. And then we can do this. The Googa Mooga. This is the circuit bent sampler that got me 3rd place in the Moogfest circuit bending challenge. Key start switch. You could sample 3 different parts, mix them in together, pitch them, get a ring modulator effect, which is controlled by a motion sensor. And there's a light that comes down here. Gotta have your vintage thrift store boom boxes. This is my first bass amplifier, Gorilla GB20. This big monster over here, and this camera, and these reels over here are a pre-VHS video player, recorder, some tapes, 3D printed TB303 case. The inside of a TD3, gonna hack that. My tape recorder. I actually listen to tapes with that. And like any good circuit bending weirdo, you need your bookcase full of random speakers and baby toys. Megaphone. This is growing constantly. It will all be used for something one day. Here's some of my more serious circuitry stuff. It's a guitar pedal, the light sensor in it, hand etched PCBs, crazy wiring mess. When electronics die, their circuit boards or cases get pulled out. I stick them into bins like this, and stop slapping your leg. Put them away and use them on other projects. Some rack stuff that hasn't made it directly into the studio yet. Tama Techstar, analog drum voice, dual tom, FB01, half a DX7 right there pretty much. These are on loan from my buddy Dave, DJ D Frost. I'm gonna convert these tapes for him. Cameras, lots of cameras. Inherited my grandfather's camera collection, probably hundreds of various cameras and lenses. This isn't all of it either. I got more cameras in boxes, cameras in the studio, a whole nother shelf of cameras over there. Lots of cameras, man. Just got like tons and tons of freaking cameras, man. Lots of cameras. Check this relic out. Sticker bombed MC303 case from back in the day. Glow in the dark aliens, of course. Look at this thing, it's so gnarled out. My first keyboard. And the Sensonics. Yeah, this is my first drum machine. This is actually a very cool piece. This was a prototype for the Maestro Fuzz Tone, which became a very famous pedal. An old crybaby wah. Before Dolby was built into everything, people had Dolby boxes like this. Plug this sucker into your system and you can add the Dolby processing. Hey, are you enjoying CLOWNFEST? Oh, quite frankly, I think that Mark Gardner is a bit of a bum. All he does is show pictures of his nuts and his bum. This is my circuit bent operation. I don't know if you guys have ever played this game. You hit this button over here and it will sample what I say.
CLOWNFEST 7.
And I can pitch it.
CLOWNFEST 7.
Leaving the shop now. Heading to the studio. Here's this small little hallway. And through this door is the studio. I guess we'll kick the studio tour off with a quick look at some of these shelves that I have of stuff that I have collected over the years. None of it's like terribly valuable or anything. The original GoBots, I'm sure everybody over the age of 40 had one of those. It's the standard stuff that most people probably have in their house, like a Bob Ross bobblehead, the Grow Your Own Therapist, the elephant that dispenses cigarettes out of its butt, Michael Jackson rubber duck, Jaws 3D full card set, a rubber ducky collection, WWF, rubber figures. Here's a 2016 Outhouses calendar. Got some of the real Ghostbusters back there. Gizmo. That's one of the new Gizmos. This is my original Gizmo when the movie first came out. I think this still squeaks. Szechuan sauce from Rick and Morty. Dukes of Hazzard calculator. Yeah. There's a Quentin Tarantino figurine from Pulp Fiction. There's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the original talking Viewmaster. 2XL, the 8-track model. I pity the fool. Early 80s breakdancer Spike bracelet. Look how small that is. That's how young of a b-boy I was. Look how small that is. Damn. Beautiful, beautiful 50s RCA transistor radio. It's a Sanyo circuit bent radio. You can pretty much talk to aliens with this thing. There's an eensy-weensy little light sensor.
Feed the moment. If you've got an insurance dentist, to say filling in that loose crown.
Got some sweet vintage batteries, because everybody collects old batteries. Michael Jackson windbreaker hat from the early 80s. That's mine. It's original. Ah, shit. How many of us had this? Come on. Awesome, dude. This was like 3D in 1985. Put that sucker on your eyes. Gotta have a Ghostbusters projector. Simon Says from 1978. First edition, bro. Except no clones, man. Gotta have the real deal. Gotta be a cork sniffer about everything. Oh, Jesus. Cuckoo for cuckoo clocks. Alright, so that's that. Coming around this way to Nerdland Part 2. Gotta have your Snoop Dogg and Sopranos wine. This lamp is actually a prop from The Sopranos. Insert picture of lamp in Sopranos. As I said, cameras are us. Lots of Leicas, old Canons. Beautiful. Watch collection! Watches! Like futuristic looking watches like this watch. That is a gorgeous Casio databank calculator watch. Extensive childhood magazine collection. Got some old future music, the original Electribes coming out. Got some wicked old Guitar Player magazine. Dude, look at that Jimmy Page, Geddy Lee. Look at Kirk Hammett, dude. Look at Kirk Hammett. Oh, what else we got? Oh, snap! Def Leppard, Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is one of the exciting parts of the new studio, where I will have the Commodore 64 goodness all set up. I guess while we're down here, we'll make a right to Nintendo. I love the Power Glove, man. All my Nintendo stuff over here. The Simpsons! Used to be a pretty serious Simpsons dork. No nerd room is complete without an excessive amount of worthless Star Wars crap. Yeah. Got your Yoda tissues. You know what I'm saying? Little Mad Magazine action. Ducky Veta. Darth Vader macaroni and cheese. Darth Vader jelly bellies. Some comic books. Some nice comic books. Got some record collection here. Some wicked old baseball cards. Got some good stuff from the 80s. Here we have a pretty decent 1985 G.I. Joe collection. Original owner, baby. Original owner. And very quickly, the Wall of Fame. Les Claypool. Trey Anastasio from Fish. Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys. Square Pusher. Dave Smith. Forrest Mims. He wrote all of the Learn How to Do Circuitry books for Radio Shack. That's Herb Deutsch. And one of the prototypes, the first Moog synthesizers. Herb is the co-inventor of the Mini Moog. Well, I guess that about covers it. Thanks for watching, guys. That's right, the studio gear. Go through things very quickly. We have a Roland Juno D. I'm trying to restore her, make the keys work, order new pots. She'll be good to go. Pretty good Rompler. Roland VT3. Pretty much got this for the Beastie Boys. Another dimension, another dimension. CD3, gonna mod it. RD8, 808 clone. My first hardware digital multitrack. This is the famous Yamaha music computer. That's the original keyboard. Yamaha software for that. Model D, Casio SK1. My first piece of techno gear. I'm sure a lot of you also first piece of techno gear. Scored this recently. This is one of the coolest vocal boxes ever made. I have the newer version of this too, the EX. This was one of the most awesome gifts ever given to me by my friend Robert. There's a simple mod for this that lets you trigger the sounds individually. Recently got this sucker on eBay, the IED-04 digital drum station. Pretty cool. I just wanted to use that really as an octapad controller. Over here we got the GR33 analog to MIDI guitar converter. RC505, old thrift shop drum machine I picked up. Very cool preset rhythm machine made by Univox. Over here we got some of my work. This piece is a circuit bent Casio calculator. Got some, it's got an effect built into it. Might even have batteries in it. Oh, there you go. This is a ground up stylophone that I built from a circuit I found online. This is a multi-oscillator synth that I just like kind of whipped together. Here's a Moog ladder filter that I made. Each part has a light sensor and it is signed by Herb Deutsch. And look, there's Bob. Hi Bob. It's one of the first guitar pedals I ever made. Another piece I made. That thing's pretty cool. It's like a spaceship, Jim! The coolest circuit bent lizard ever made. The circuit bent ukulele has kind of like a acoustic light theremin built into it. One of my more recent scores, the Yamaha RX-11, my FCB 1010. Totally idiot-proof MIDI patch bay. Moving right along, this is my live setup for the last CLOWNFEST and my last live gig. Nothing here really needs a ton of explanation. Minotaur, Microverb, TR-8S Korg EMX1, KP3 Plus, TB303. My baby. TD3, Soundcraft mixer. Yeah, that's about it. The legendary Casio CZ101. And speaking of 101s, here's the fake one made by Behringer. It's good. Another TD3, Korg ER1, and the EA1, the Electribe sampler, a Motu MIDI Express, the MPC 5000. I hate this drum machine, RT123. This drum machine sucks. What else we got here? We got the Roland VT4, Boss DR55, one of the first programmable drum machines, MMT8, HR16, HR16B. It's a triad of 80s crap. Quickly going through the TRs. Got a TR505, TR727, TR707, TR626, TR909, TR606, TR09, no, sorry. The analog TS305 Techstar, very similar to the Simmons. The M-Box, awesome little small groove box. Kraftwerk Pocket Calculator in the cradle. Underrated drum machine by Akai, the XR20. Elysis SR16, the Zoom UFO synth. More circuit bent crap. My firmware hacked Volca FM MC202. Micro Freak, the Filter Queen. Got a BG's rhythm machine over here. Circuit bent. Whoa. Custom distortion I use a lot. I call it the triple death distortion. Not going to go over my recording setup too much as it changes a lot, but I got the 4 buses going out 8 tracks, 2M audio 1814 interface, and I record to Sonar as my DAW. There's the digital mixer screen. The computer is nothing special right now, but it was almost special in 2012 when I built it. It's a Thermotake case that they built with BMW. It's all about no tools to work on. You can take your drive bays out over here. I get my temperatures, stuff over here. Easy access to inside the computer. Everything works fine for a 2012 computer because it is a dry dock computer. This computer has only been on the internet to stream CLOWNFEST. Other than that, Tron, as I call her, has never seen the internet. She doesn't ask for updates. All of her software works perfectly. Any problems she would have would be physical of nature, not a software issue. We're living in the future here, guys. There you go. That's high-tech 2012 style. Love it. Studio in dark mode. This piece of artwork I made. That's what you look like when you're recording videos in the studio for CLOWNFEST, right there. And with that, I bid you farewell. Hope you enjoyed this little tour of my junk. Hope my junk wasn't boring. I hope the size of my junk. Please do. Wishing everybody a happy Christmas, a happy New Year. See you in 2022. Now back to you, Mark.